Guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, happy Thursday. Out here in the shop working on stuff, and I got my helper chicken today. That's Sonia. Today we're working... Whoa! What are you doing? Yeah, anyway. Today we're working on the old Mustang, and I'm fixing some of the old wiring that was done on this car before I got my hands on it. And I'm in the middle of adding in some pretty cool features, and I'm getting rid of... I cleaned up the rat's nest pretty good in here. I got more work to do. So let me take you in here and show you what's going on. You can see here, it's got the classic stick everything on the starter solenoid lug there for a 12-volt power situation going on that I'm going to remedy. And I'll give you a little overview of what I'm doing. I got a bunch of nice, really nice 4-gauge cable that I'm going to be running for the car. And I got one wire already made up here with the copper ends on it. And basically what I'm doing is everything that's in the vehicle under the dash, and I'll give you the rundown real fast. MSD box, AC control system for the air conditioner, radio, radiator cooling fan relays, which are actually going to come out of there and come up here. What else is in there? The painless wiring, fuse block for all the new VDO gauges. All of the stuff that's sucking off of this power supply. All of that stuff currently is being supplied on this lug right here with this cable right here. This shitty 8-gauge amplifier installation kit cable, and I know, don't get on my ass about it, I know that that's the wrong way, and that's why this is coming out of here. So this is being pulled out, and what I'm going to be doing when I get more lugs is I'm adding a circuit breaker, which is here. This is a 150 amp circuit breaker, so basically a big master power breaker that I can control everything in the vehicle with here. This also acts as a theft deterrent system for when the car is parked for a long time. All I have to do is push that button and it deactivates all the electronics inside the car. It'll also deactivate the fuel pump, which is quite nice. So all master electronics are going to be running off of this master breaker. Then from here, so this is going to be fed similar to this, but nice and neat and tidy underneath. So this main bus bar will have continuous battery power, nice and neat on one side, which would be this side. Then the breaker is going to be fed by the master bar, and then anything else that needs continuous 12-volt power, which, you know, this has been debated a million times, but they say the Holly Sniper needs to have direct power, nothing in between it, no fuse. I don't really know if that's safe or not, so I'm going to fuse it anyway. But the MSD and the Holly Sniper both need continual power, so they'll be pulling off of that lug, as well as all this other crap that's on here is going to be put onto this lug and then buried into a boot, which I have here. So I've been making my wiring kits and everything, and here is the main boot that's going to be... Man, you're really interested today, huh? You want this? No? So this boot, this is going to be a real clean setup. So once this is done, this boot will hang on right here, and there'll be one on this side, one on this side, and you won't see any of the nasty wiring which is there. It'll all be shielded and shrouded, so there's no issue with anything shorting out. So it's going to be a real nice tidy wiring job. And then once we get into the actual vehicle, I will be pulling the disaster out of the bottom of the firewall and putting everything onto a dual bus, heavy-duty dual bus bar. So one side will receive main power coming off that 150 amp breaker to here, which will then be fed out to their own private circuits, the painless wiring harness, the relays for the AC, relays for the cooling fans, etc. We'll be pulling off of this side, and then I'm going to run a big, nice master negative from here out to the actual battery, which will be nice. So there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. I'm trying to get all this done and done right. so I don't have any more issues here. I'm also going through and pulling anywhere that there's a black wire going to positive and pulling that off and putting a red wire on there. Just doing it right. So, you know, you never know when the next guy's going to get the car. You don't want to hand them a pile of wires that they don't know what to do with. I also invested in a very nice, where the hell is it? Label maker, because my other one took a crap on me. But my label maker now, so I'm going to be basically going through and making up a label for every single wire that goes under that car. So every wire that they pull back the shroud on, they'll see what it does, what it goes to, and what the amperage is. So yeah, any advice I can give you out of this video is to make up a nice wiring kit. Get all the different gauges of wire that you need for the different applications. Here's my 8 gauge, here's my 10 gauge, here's my 18 gauge, various vacuum connections, bus bar stuff, clamp ends, all that kind of good stuff. Here's another cool idea for a power lug where you can actually attach power off of here. I just hate stacking terminals. I can't stand it because stuff corrodes and you never know how that works. I can also suggest making a nice screw kit like I've done here. So now when I need a screw, I can just run in here. If I need a self tapper, if I need some finish washer, whatever, I can come in here. I can grab that. I also got myself a cool little rolling cart because I'm tired of working underneath here and then not having anywhere to put stuff, so I wheel that around. I made a cool little wire ends kit here. So now I can go through and whatever wire end I need, I can grab that, and I usually pull off the pre-insulated stuff that comes on those wire ends, and I add my own shrink wrap. So there's my shrink wrap kit. Every single size you could ever need, and then usually I lay in some zip ties in here if I ever need zip ties as I go, which is nice. Also made myself up a kind of a miscellaneous wiring kit. So this is where I keep all my relays, extra fuse blocks, big old 200 amp beast relay I was going to use for the lights up on the light bar of the Ridgeline. Here's some fusible links should I need those. There'll probably be one going in for the MSD, even though the instructions say not to. Alligator clips, flashers, you know, just a bunch of stuff. Just the nice part about all this is just I'm trying to get more organized as I build stuff. And these DeWalt kits have definitely made life a lot easier. Plus you can lock them all together and you can move them around, which is nice. The other kits I made up was a fuse kit, large and small fuses, and a retaining ring kit. So I still have a bunch of stuff over here. A lot of the stuff will be used for the woodworking side of things, but yeah, so I can't go on any further with this because I don't have enough of these copper lugs right here. I only bought 4 and I need about 5 more, so that kind of sucks. So I'm gonna stop today, but I got to make another penetration in the firewall and add some grommets to bring the main power and ground wires in. So yeah, I'll take you under here and I'll show you what I'm going to be remediating, so don't beat me up too bad about it. Oh. Yeah, there you go. So it's not as bad as it looks. This disaster right here, where you see all this frayed wire coming out, I pulled that out. It wasn't like that. But everything under here that you see is being powered by this one 8 gauge wire going into an 80 amp fuse. And you guessed it, this keeps blowing when the fans are on and you try to start the car. And then look at this mess. Everything's coming off of this big lug. It's just, this is bad. This is just, this is me in a rush trying to get the damn thing running. And it worked. It got it running. We drove it. But now it's time to go back through and not leave shit the way it is. This big nest right here is just really just extra wire for the MSD, which is in here. There's the painless wiring kit. When I'm done with this, which will hopefully be within the next couple days, this will look perfect. It's all wired. It's all got breakers and everything on it, but it's just a mess. I hate it. If we look up here, here's the cooling fan relays that are just kind of hanging in there. And look at what I did for that ground. That's horrible. Look at that. Terrible. So all this is going to get remediated, and it'll be perfect and reliable. so I never have to worry about blown fuses and breakers and everything else. So nice little update video for this week. This is what you guys can expect coming up soon on the channel. You'll be seeing some remediation happening and some wiring stuff, and, you know, spare the negative again. You know, I mean, I don't get that many, but spare the negative comments, guys. I know better than to do what I did on this car, and I know what I got to do to make it right. So once this thing is all done, it'll be perfect. I will sketch up a wiring diagram for it. All of that stuff will be included in the vehicle at all times, so anybody that ever has to go back through this car knows exactly what each wire does and where it goes. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, thumbs up, and I'll get you in the next video. Later.